You know her as the pioneer woman, Food Network star, and best-selling cookbook author. But Ree Drummond first gained national attention for her blog, Black Heels to Tractor Wheels, way back in 2006-2007. Her blog chronicled how, in the process of moving from LA to Chicago, the city girl fell in love with a cowboy and wound up on a cattle ranch in rural Oklahoma. She still cooks, she still bakes and blogs and does TV, and oh yeah, she has time to write children's books as well. Ree Drummond, thank you for joining us on Better Kansas City. You call yourself an accidental ranch wife.
Yes, very much so. I actually grew up in Oklahoma, but I went to school in California, had plans to move to Chicago, and wound up marrying a cattle rancher and moving to his ranch in the middle of nowhere, or so it felt when we got married. So I had quite a transition. It took me many years to get used to all the little ins and outs of country life. And so that's why I started writing the Little Book children's series. That's why I started writing the Little Ree children's book series. It's about a little girl named Ree who moves to the country. She's a fish out of water, and ultimately it becomes a bloom where you're planted story. So that was the idea for it. In the second Little Ree book, I get to introduce Hyacinth, who is my real life best friend. And it was so much fun to write about us as little girls. We don't have wrinkles, first of all,
yes,
in the book. But it's really a fun book. It's about friendship and the fun and adventure and sometimes trouble friends can get in together.
And get themselves out of.
That's right. And that's what best friends are for. If you get into trouble or you stumble a little bit, they're there to catch you and pull you out. So.
A question for Hyacinth. You've been best friends with Ree for how long?
Gosh, over 20 years now, probably 22 years.
So what's it like to see your city
We've had
friend?
Quite a ride.
Yeah, yes, together. You see your city friend, your best friend who's a city girl, marry a rancher. What did you think at the time?
Oh, you know, we've just had such a, I was a city girl, moved to a small town. So we've shared a similar journey. We've raised our 4 kids together. They're all about the same ages. So we've had the same journey as any mother would, any wife would, but it's just in a location that's sort of unfamiliar but charming. I think that's one of the appeals of Ree and the Pioneer Woman, is just seeing where you can, as she said, bloom where you're planted.
In the back of each of your picture books, you include a recipe. And this book has a delicious recipe for berry blast pie that families can make together. Can you tell us about the importance of cooking together as a family and when you realized that that was very important for your family?
Well, it's funny. You know, sometimes when you're in the daily grind of cooking dinner for your family, you can sort of get into the habit of just shooing the kids away. It really is easier not to have the kids in the kitchen at first, let's face it. I really found that through the years, the more I would let them just come in and dig their hands into something and help, even if it was quote unquote help, it just kind of paves the way for more and more of that. And it never gets easier than, you know, just letting them dive in. And so I think it's good for kids not to be shooed out of the kitchen. And this pie recipe in the back is very doable. You can use a store-bought pie crust if you want. You can make your own. But it's just really an easy recipe. The kids can help stir and pour the berries into the crust. And that's important for me. With all my recipes, really, that they can be made easily, that kids can help.
They love to eat it after it's over.
That's right. I love to eat it. And it was very important for me to include a pie recipe in this book because Hyacinth and I love pie.
Right.
It's a bond we share.
Aw, Ree Drummond and Hyacinth, thank you for joining us. It's really special to see 2 best friends that are doing something together. That's wonderful.
Oh, thanks, Alexis.
Thanks for having us.